Strap yourselves in. We get a long one here. Get some Dark Souls 2 content. The Return to Drang Lake event happened a little bit ago, and get all sorts of people back in Dark Souls 2. It wasn't super active, and I ended up running into a lot of the same people, like this clown here. Can't really clown on him too much, but when you start off fights just shooting arrows at the far end of the arena, you're not going to make a lot of friends. Especially, on top of that, you're rocking dual poison spears. But you give him a quick little parry, take him out, and pow! This Dark Sinner sword is brutal. So this is a level 150 build. I'm calling it the Majestic Sinner because it revolves around two things: the Lost Sinner sword. I got it dark infused, and also the Majestic Greatsword, which is Dark Souls 2's take on Artorias' sword. So you'll see some more clips of that coming up here. Now, the sword, while it hits like a brick, didn't have the best moveset unless you knew what you were doing, because there's some great hit stuff in Dark Souls 2. So rolling R1 to R2, R1, and then followed up with an R2, just boom, 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 3-hit combo, stunned the whole way through it, and just completely deleted. Part of that had to do with him trying to do actions while I was hitting him, but yeah, you can just devastate people. And here comes Bonehead again. He rocks up, trying to hit me with that chain trident for the insta-poison, and, again, get another quick parry on the spear guy, take him down, and, that's the end of him. And I don't know what it was about this guy. He kind of rubbed me the wrong way, just the way he was playing. I see here I got to pull the shield out, expect him to shoot arrows again. But now we'll see a little bit of the Majestic Greatsword. Not a ton in this particular one, because he had gotten on my nerves, so I just went ruthless on him. At one point, I used to be real good at this game, but the buttons have changed a little too much. Dark Souls 3, Sekiro, Elden Ring, whatever. Not quite as smooth with it as I used to be, but I can still be a rude boy when I want to. Now this guy here, on the other hand, this guy was a great dude to fight against. Had a lot of good fights with him. He's got a dark build as well, but he casts a few more spells than I do. But that being said, after we had fought a couple times, I didn't record the first few because they were so quick. But when we were buffed up, we were just kind of wrecking each other a little too quickly. So without even saying a word to each other, because we ended up exchanging GGs and a couple, pleasant messages after the fact. But oh, and I missed that big spinny. That's where well, I'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, without even really talking to each other, we both stopped buffing because we wanted our fights to last a little bit longer because we were having fun with it. So the Majestic Greatsword, which is Artorias' sword, when you hold it in your left hand, it opens up a special moveset, not just the typical Greatsword moveset. So the L2 one-handed gives you that spin, and two-handed it goes the flip, and if you power stance it, you do this other crazy like super spinny flip thing. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. So the stats for it is a stat-intensive sword. It's 25 strength and dex, plus 20 intelligence and wisdom. So to pull that off at level 50, you got to make some sacrifices. But fortunately, dark builds were pretty good. So the Dark Infused Rapier gives me parry for a little bit of defense when I'm using it, because I never really liked using a shield in my rapier. It felt weird. There's that big spinny R2. If you get someone, if you kind of can read someone and you know they're going to roll into you and you can hit them with that spinny R2, it is devastating. But yeah, so back to the build when I was setting it up, and I'm going to show you the stats and the way it's set up at the end. But the thing you need to do is you got to find a guy like to have one big hidden weapon if I want, and the Dark Sinner sword is good for that. It's a colossal, it's lightweight, and you take a little bit of damage while you're using it. It's almost like the Chaos Blade or hiltless from Demon Souls. Like, FromSoft usually likes to have weapons that deal a little bit of damage to you when you swing them, but I don't really see that in Elden Ring yet. I mean, you get like the bloody slash move, but I knew he was going to follow up with that R1 there too, and it was a little jumped the gun a little early on the parry attempt. Again, this guy, he was a blast to fight. But yeah, and that'll go into more, why I talk about why I like Dark Souls 2. You can see the stamina management is really important here. You can't just sprint around endlessly because you're not going to have the stamina to attack or do anything. You can't roll spam because you can get caught real easy, or someone can follow you and catch you on a backstab when you're rolling away. If you roll into someone, it's easier because it's a little floaty, it's a little slower. So every movement you make can and will be punished by good players. But then you'll also see other people who can, you'll see them doing like these weird unlocked things where they're walking away from you backwards and it seems like they're in range, but they're not. And it just has to do with the net code. And, there's animation cancels you can pull off where you start to do a move and you can backstep out of it. And, backsteps have iframes in this, which is, it's something else. So it sets up a lot of weirdness. So you really gotta play with it. But, man, this game, the basic mechanics of the PvP were so good, and I miss it sometimes. So the Return to Drang Lake event, it was a lot of fun. I wish I had more free time so I could have got into it more. I got a couple other clips of some of my other builds, but not a ton. I got this one, which is probably my favorite, although certainly far from my most effective, because like I said, trying to set up the Majestic Greatsword at level 150 isn't easy. And, I don't know why I get so married to the level 150 thing, because Dark Souls 2, it's about soul memory, not your actual level. But, I don't know, it just always felt like a nice place to stop to make a build. And there you see the setup. You get someone, if you can time it so they're rolling away, and that's what I wanted to do before. You can catch them with that flippy spin there, and it's so satisfying to learn that. But yeah, this is just it's a very elegant game where you have to think about what you're doing, and every move, every step, all your positioning, it's always important. As you can tell with this guy, as he goes and hides behind a wall for no reason. I don't have a lot of spells on here, but I do have Scraps of Life. I was gonna cast it there to get him out from behind the corner, but he eventually came out. I guess he saw me put the shield away. I think he was afraid of getting parried again. But nonetheless, a couple quick hits there, catch him with the R2, and whoop, right over the edge. The arena was crazy. This one, I started recording a little late on this one, so I missed, the intro, but you can tell that was the first hit, so you didn't really miss too much. This guy was good. I actually fought this guy a couple times. I only caught 2 of them, but he was real good. You can see here, he's doing some of that unlocked walk away backwards stuff, and, it sets up good because of the way the iframes work. You can pull off some weirdness. But that being said, you can also pay for it because you end up getting stuck or locked out of a position. He's expecting there most of the time someone's going to go for the backstab punish, which you can get away from free. But the offhand R2, I was able to catch him. But unfortunately, this guy's good, and he knows how to roll catch with that R2, kind of stagger him a little bit and get the R2 into R2. So when I fought him again after, I was pumped to see him because it was a good fight. I think he won the first 2 fights, and then I won a couple, and then we traded back and forth a little bit. But it was a good night of invasions or duels or whatever. I didn't get much luck getting invasions with this build, but I was having enough fun in here that I wasn't too worried about it. But yeah, so he busts this out instead of the katana, and this curved sword is one of the strongest in the game. It's got great hit stun, awesome damage, and it tends to make people aggressive. So I was hoping he was going to keep going at me. Caught him with a parry, took him out. Nobody expects the pocket colossal to come out of nowhere. That's sometimes you get the hard swap. I never got into all that stuff. But the good thing about the Sinner sword is it's lightweight, especially for a colossal and how hard it hits. It's definitely got drawbacks, but all in all, it's it's a good addition to your arsenal. Now this person here, you'll see we got a similar kind of setup. They got a rapier, but they got it in their offhand, rocking the Mirakumo. You see a lot of people in this witch's set. I get my own little witch fashion that I like. She's trying to get parries, but not spamming them, not being parry spammy, which I can appreciate. I thought I was going to get the spin there, but just caught me with the backstab. But anyways, I get a couple pokes in. You can see like some of that, like I feel like maybe that shouldn't have hit me, but again, it probably looked good on her screen. Some of those I felt maybe should have hit, but not faulting the player. I don't think they're doing anything wrong. It's just, old game is old. So now we're just going to try to finish the fight off. I see her pull the rapier back out. I assume she's going to go for another parry or two. She doesn't do it right away. We're trying to trade some running attacks. She's throwing out the R2s, which, when someone's not just spamming R1, it's always nice. Trying to get a poke or two out. Yeah, it just... you can see the weird little, what seems like a no-reason backstep coming from her, but, it's all what it's intended to be. Right there, I thought I was going to get the backstab on her. Somehow she turned around and got the parry on me. Kudos to her, great fight. That was another one who was fun. I wish I ran into that person more, but, unfortunately, I just kept getting bone person over and over again. But the one good thing was this guy. This guy was a lot of fun. He mixed up his strategy a little bit. He's got high poise. He's got the darkness. He's got the bandit's axe, which is such a good axe. And yeah, there's really not too much else to say about the build. I'll go over it a little more at the end once the stats and stuff are up. But I don't know if any of you other guys that are watching me for the Elden Ring content that I've mostly put out. I'm going to put out a little bit more of the Dark Souls 2 stuff. I'm not going to make that like my focus or anything. But if you are interested, if you do like this stuff, I love the game. I'd be happy to play it more if I thought people were going to want to watch it. But, if not, well, I mean, what am I averaging? Maybe 100 views or so per episode? It's not like I'm tearing up the charts here. So who knows? Maybe I'll put it out because... channel's mostly just for my own amusement anyways. I'm just happy whenever somebody seems to like it and want to interact and enjoy it, it's always cool. Anyways, those pursuers don't really have the slow-moving pursuing spell. I guess the bubble's close to that. But, you can't throw the bubbles over your head. Maybe that'd be a good Elden Ring DLC spell, like Bubble Pursuers. That's something I hadn't really thought about yet. Who knows what they're going to add, but that's something they've had in the game for a while now. Most of the games are those Pursuer spells, so, the slow-moving version of the Glint Blade Phalanx, or, yeah, it's had 100 different names over the years. I'm blanking right now. It's the problem with doing live random recording, especially while I'm at work on like my lunch break, trying to just rattle out some commentary over the video real quick. If I had more free time, I'd probably try to script something together and put together some more coherent thoughts. But instead, I just jump into it recklessly, like I did those attacks there. Sometimes you want to go for the big flashy finish, and sometimes you pay for it. I think this is the last fight I have before we're going to wrap up with a quick look at the build and whatever. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, then thanks for watching the whole way through. I appreciate it. If you haven't, then you're probably not here to listen to me ramble anyway, so it doesn't matter. But you know, again, if you guys do like the Dark Souls 2 stuff at all, let me know. Not to be that like thumbs up and like and subscribe and blah blah blah, but I mean, if you do like it, let me know. If you don't, then I probably won't bother throwing it in nearly as much as I do with the random Elden Ring stuff. I got to figure out what I want to put into my next build. I'm thinking something faithy, but I don't know yet. Anyways, this is that Murakumo chick from earlier who ended up beating me. So I wanted to get revenge on her, and she's been a lot more aggressive this time with the katana, and that's how I noticed she did keep rolling in. She was always pushing the pressure, so I figured that the big R2 could catch her. Ended up double hitting her with it and got the win. So I was real pumped about that, and that was about when I was calling it a night. So gave myself a quick little thumbs up and figured I'd try to throw an outro together. So quick look at the build there. You can see 150, you got 25, 25 for strength and dex, plus 20 and 20 in int. Kept my weight as low as I could so the Flynn's ring would work. And other than that, I just put a couple points into attunement, so I got an extra spell slot, and the rest went into health. And that was it. So with the light armor and everything, I can rock the Sinner sword, the Majestic sword. I got the shield that regens stamina, and all in all, it makes for a really fun build with the move sets and some of the things you can pull off. Not the most effective build. You can certainly min-max your stats better, but Dark Weapon helps make up some of that difference. And yeah, love this game, Dark Souls 2.